The city of Kalara had always been a place of glowing towers and humming machines, a metropolis suspended between the fragments of the old world and the promise of tomorrow. To an outsider, it looked flawless, gleaming metal streets, floating transports, and neon skies. But beneath its polished surface, Kalara hid secrets that even its citizens dared not speak aloud. I had lived in Kalara all my life, wandering its steel corridors and luminous plazas, blending into the endless flow of people. My name is Orion Vey, a cybernetic engineer who specialized in restoring the old technologies that the city discarded. I lived alone in a tiny apartment overlooking the river of lights that wound through Kalara like a luminous vein. My life was ordinary, repetitive, a rhythm of repairs, maintenance, and quiet nights spent tinkering with machines that no one truly appreciated. Then she appeared. I first noticed her in the marketplace of Neon Crescent, a section of Kalara where ancient relics were traded under the flickering light of suspended hollow billboards. She stood by a vendor's stall, examining a strange, humming device, a sphere of unknown metal etched with symbols that pulsed softly in rhythm with her heartbeat. She was unlike anyone I had ever seen, hair the color of liquid silver, eyes that shimmered like fragments of a dying star, and an aura that made the chaos around her seem mute. And then, as if sensing me, she turned her head, and our eyes met. "Orion Vey," she whispered. I froze. My name left her lips like a melody, soft and deliberate, and for a moment, the world stopped spinning. She smiled, a smile that seemed to fold time in on itself, and something deep inside me stirred, something I had long buried under routine and solitude. I'm sorry, I stammered. Do I know you? She shook her head gently, yet her gaze held a certainty that unsettled me. Not yet, but you will. Before I could respond, she vanished into the crowd, leaving behind a faint trail of silver light and the lingering warmth of her presence. That night, sleep eluded me. My mind raced over every possible explanation. How could she know my name? How could someone appear and vanish like a phantom, yet leave such a profound effect? I tried to focus on my work, repairing an old kinetic processor, but even the hum of machinery felt muted compared to the echo of her voice. The following morning, I found a small package at my door. No note, just the sphere I had seen at the market, humming with a soft blue light. The moment I touched it, a wave of images and voices flooded my mind. Visions of stars collapsing, of cities rising and falling, and of a woman trapped in a maze of time, calling for me. I realized then that this was no ordinary meeting. She had reached out to me, across some invisible boundary, seeking help. And though I didn't yet understand why, I knew I would follow. The trail led me to the lower sectors of Kalara, a place most citizens avoided. Here, the city's pulse slowed, and the bright neon gave way to shadows. Abandoned machines littered the streets, and the air smelled faintly of ozone and decay. I followed the trail of silver light that only I could see, through twisted alleyways and collapsed towers, until I came to a massive, hollow dome. Inside, the walls pulsed with the same rhythm as the sphere I carried. And there she was, the woman from the market, standing at the center of the dome, surrounded by a circle of ancient machines that hummed in anticipation. Her eyes met mine, and she spoke again, softer this time. Orion, thank you for coming. I stepped closer, my heart pounding. Who are you? What is this place? I am Celera, she said, her voice like the wind through crystal. This is the heart of Kalara. It was built long before the city above, a machine capable of changing the course of time itself. I blinked, struggling to comprehend. Time a machine? She nodded. Yes. But it is failing. And with it, the reality you know will collapse. You are the only one who can fix it. I laughed nervously. Me? A repairman? Why me? Because, she said, stepping closer, you have always been able to see what others cannot. You notice patterns, connections, you understand the old world. And the heart, it recognizes that in you. I didn't know whether to be terrified or honored. But what does this have to do with you? Why are you here? Her eyes softened. I am bound to the heart, trapped in its loops for centuries. Every failure, every reset, I have tried to reach someone who could save both the heart and the world above. That someone is you. I felt the weight of her, words pressing down on me. My life, ordinary, quiet, predictable, was about to vanish. And despite the fear gnawing at my stomach, I felt a strange surge of certainty. I could not turn away. For days, we worked together. Celera guided me through the ancient code embedded in the heart, a lattice of circuits and symbols far older than anything in Kalara above. I interfaced with machines that seemed alive, their metal exteriors warm under my hands, their pulses synchronizing with Solara's voice. And then came the night when everything changed. The heart began to resist. Machines groaned, sparks flew, and the floor beneath us trembled. The sphere in my hand glowed bright blue, then white, then vanished in a burst of light. I fell to my knees, shielding my eyes. When I looked up, she was kneeling beside me, her hand on mine. She smiled, the same smile from the market, radiant and serene. "You've done it," she whispered. I shook my head, incredulous. I don't understand. What happened? The heart is stabilized, she said. The city above will survive. And so will you. Relief surged through me, but it was mingled with a sense of longing I couldn't name. Celera, what now? She hesitated, her eyes searching mine. Then, slowly, she leaned closer and whispered, "Now we begin." The words were simple, but the world around me seemed to tilt. In that moment, I understood what had been missing in my life: connection, purpose, and the fragile beauty of someone who truly saw you. Her presence altered the very rhythm of my existence, bending reality not through machines alone, but through something far more powerful: hope. In the days that followed, Kalara thrummed with renewed life. The heart, hidden beneath the city, pulsed gently, its power coursing through the streets and towers above. Citizens went about their lives, unaware of how close they had come to oblivion. Celera and I continued our work, restoring old technologies and studying the mysteries left behind by civilizations long vanished. But it was more than that. We learned from each other, our bond deepening with every passing day. She taught me to see the world not just as it was, but as it could be. And I taught her to trust, to hope, to exist beyond the loops that had bound her for centuries. Months later, standing on the balcony of my apartment, I watched the neon river of Kalara glimmering beneath us. Celera stood beside me, her fingers intertwined with mine, her presence as luminous as the city itself. "You saved Kalara," she said softly. "No," I corrected her, smiling. "We saved it. Together." She leaned her head on my shoulder, and for a moment, all the noise and chaos of the city melted away. I realized that life was not about avoiding change or seeking certainty. It was about embracing the unexpected, about answering the call of the impossible when it appeared. And in that realization, I found something more valuable than any machine, any secret, or any power the city could offer. I found her. Her smile met mine, bright and unwavering. And as she whispered my name again, softly, intimately, I understood that everything had truly changed. Because some encounters are not meant to be forgotten. Some connections are not accidental. And some stories, no matter how ordinary they begin, are destined to reshape the universe in ways we cannot imagine. Kalara glowed beneath us, a city saved by courage, curiosity, and the bond between two souls who had found each other in the shadows of time. And as Celera whispered once more, I knew that our journey was only beginning, a story of wonder, danger, and discovery that stretched far beyond the horizon of even our wildest dreams. Everything had changed, and yet, somehow, it was only the beginning. The heart of Kalara hummed softly beneath our feet, its energy now steady, its rhythm aligned with ours. Outside, the city glowed in renewed brilliance, unaware of how close it had come to unraveling. I looked at Celera, her silver hair catching the neon light, eyes reflecting both relief and something far deeper, a hope I had never known. You saved more than the city, she whispered, her hand brushing mine. You saved me. I swallowed, my voice caught between awe and disbelief. We did this together. I couldn't have done it without you. She smiled, and in that smile, the world shifted. Time seemed to pause for a heartbeat, the city below shimmering like a tapestry of possibilities. Orion, she said softly, leaning close. Everything changed the moment we found each other. And now it's our turn to shape what comes next. I held her hand tightly, feeling the pulse of her life intertwined with mine. Then let's face it together. Whatever the future brings. And as we stood there, side by side, looking over Kalara, a city of light, of hope, of infinite possibility, I realized something profound. Sometimes a single smile, a single whispered name, can alter the course of everything. Everything had changed, and the universe was waiting.